We can start. Okay. We will start with the Shanti mantra. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavityam Karavavagai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. So, last class we were discussing about japa, upasana, and we finished with how to turn the mind that goes towards what we call as distraction and bring it back on track and not have a conflict in the process, not to have a conflict of a mind that is concentrating and a mind that is distracted. So this inner conflict, the state of conflict where we are struggling, how to avoid that. So we discussed all that. So today we will try to understand how to awaken a certain quality of awareness, a certain quality of attention that is not born of effort, that is not a consequence of a manipulation. A certain natural quality of attention or awareness is there in us as it is. We say in the Shastra that this is our Swarupa, or this is the nature of the mind, this is the nature of the Chit Shakti and all that. It is the nature of the individual self to be aware. All that we say. Chida Basa, different ways of explaining the different aspects of it. But without going into all the jargons, I would like to explore today experientially, right? We are here right now. You're here. I'm here. I'm talking. Hopefully you are listening. There is an experience, sensory experience of your room, of your laptop. There is an experience of the presence of all the things around you, and there is an experience of this present situation, which also includes the experience of you being here. It's simple, right? No. This quality of being aware, it's a given. We did not try to do this. So if you are not absorbed in sleep, you are awake, the quality of awareness is experienced. Either in objects, there is awareness of objects, there is a lot of activity, accompanied by a lot of activity, or not accompanied by any activity. So there is this quality of attention. It's here. Already there is this awareness which you are experiencing right now. For this, you don't have to do anything. Whatever we are doing right now, whatever effort we are making is happening on top of this awareness. Like how there are waves on top of the water surface, like that. Whatever is the movement of the self, that sense of self that you have, I want to do this, I want to concentrate, I want to listen, I don't want to think about that. I want to think about that. I want to control my breath. I want to sit straight. Or I want to relax. I want to watch TV. Whatever you have, and then you do, right? There is an urge that I want to move my arms and hands a little bit, arms and feet a little bit. Or no, I want to flex my shoulders and neck a little bit. All these different things come and go. After one movement of yourself stops, before the next movement of your self begins, in whatever level, at the level of body, at the level of some urges, tendencies, you are remembering something, thinking about something, or you are enjoying that thought, or you are analyzing what I am talking, trying to understand, right? So, or you are deliberately trying to conceptualize something. So, whatever may be, there is a one movement of the self in any of these levels, types, or there is no movement, you are still, there is no movement of yourself, you are still. And in the stillness, you are aware. You see, whatever you do, you come back to this awareness. This awareness is a given, it's here. You don't do anything for it, right? It's naturally present. Like how there are things, there is awareness of things. Awareness is like a thing. You are, there is this awareness. There is experience of awareness of being aware. The quality and the ability to be aware, right? Now, just recognize this. If it is a little tough, it is too subtle for you. There are things around you which exist independent of your effort. There is this laptop or the phone in front of you, the floor under you, the air around you, the body, the chair in which you're sitting probably, or the mat, the roof. You move your hands, feel your hands. Whatever you are aware of, the object is present. Your awareness of the object is present without you having to do anything about it, right? The most natural awareness of things, that's easier. So if you are not able to be aware of that quality of being aware, that is too subtle for you, you are aware of things. Now just recognize, just try to understand this. This is this practice of awareness. There's no practice actually. The practice is not of awareness. The practice is to understand the source of the movement of your sense of self, the movement of yourself, how you move, how you express, how you assert yourself in the given field of awareness. So that is what we are trying to understand and come to the core of it. And see if we can have a choice there of not to express or move the self, right? In this approach of awakening this quality of attention and awareness, where there is an understanding not of words, we are trying to tap into that dimension where you know without words, and where you are aware and you don't do anything. There is no urge to act. You are aware of something and you don't have any urge to act upon whatever you are aware of. Simple objective awareness. I'm not talking about some transcendental consciousness, nothing. Simple everyday waking state awareness. We are working with that, right? Okay. Now, just recognize this, your ability to be aware. You are aware. Just recognize it, appreciate this fact of life right now. Just appreciate that. While you are recognizing this, you sorry, give more importance to being very watchful about your tendency to move. Your attention moves. There is a tendency to move your attention. There is a tendency to move your limbs, or there is a tendency to do something. That is the movement of the ego or the individual self. That movement of the self, what I am talking about, is your tendency to move, to express, not physical move. The sense of I, you are the center. This the center of this experience is you. You are moving. You are the one who is aware of this space, the body, the air, whatever you are aware of. The moment you recognize this, there is always the tendency to do something in you. You feel like doing something. You feel like making an effort. Sometimes it is a known effort, like you recognize some discomfort in your posture and you say, okay, let me sit straight. It's a known effort. But sometimes it is an unknown effort. There is always this rush or an urgency or a tendency to do something. What we call in our normal everyday life as restlessness. Now, you may say that, I am sitting quiet. I am not restless. But if you really feel, there is no reason to do anything. I have not asked you to control the breath. I have not asked you to concentrate on anything. I have not asked you to process any ideas, nothing. I just said you are aware of this situation, this room, yourself, the body. Just recognize that there is this awareness of things. Recognizing the presence of awareness, ability of you being aware of stuff. Now, does it require, this is only an understanding. You recognize it, you understand, okay, there is this experience of being aware of things. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. It is like an old movie joke. Some 4 or 5 boys, they will come back to the village after studying in America or something. I don't know, some big degrees, engineering or whatever. They come home. So it is a joke to illustrate how the people who tend to think a lot leave out on very simple practical things. So the father will ask, in Tamil, for spider, for spider, we say ettukal puchi, the 8-legged insect. That is the word used for spider, literal. So the father will ask, how many legs are there for the 8-legged insect? So each one will give one answer. Ettuka puchiki etana kal. Each one will give one answer. It's a very famous joke of how we miss the obvious and we are always trying to arrive at something that is more complicated. So right now, you are here, that you are aware of things around you. Now this, you being aware of things around you is a given. It's here. This is experience already here. You have to just recognize it. Be with it. That's all. And there is no reason to do anything. But still, you can see you have a tendency to act on something or the other. Keeps on coming here, inside the sense of self. You feel like, moving towards something, acquiring something, doing something. There is a sense of wanting to do, the sense of doership, that sense of movement. It keeps coming. Why does it keep coming? For no reason. Where does it come from? So you just observe that very keenly, the tendency of the self to move. And you remember, I don't have to do anything to stay in this recognition of this quality of awareness. You have to remember this and relax into this natural state of being aware. Just keep coming to that. Eyes open, sitting. You are not looking for anything. You are not arriving at any experience. You are not trying to concentrate on anything. You are not trying to take your attention away from anything, both outside and inside. In every experience of every object, you recognize the quality of you being aware. That's all. Now you hear my voice. You are aware of my voice. You recognize there is awareness of my voice. There is awareness. In the awareness of my voice, you recognize the quality of being aware. And in the awareness of the light around you in the room, you recognize the quality of being aware. Then the mind moves to something else. The attention moves to something else. Then you recognize the quality of being aware of that. You just come back in your commitment of recognition. No, the ability to recognize or be conscious of or appreciate or recognize is one dimension of your attention. The ability of being aware is one dimension that happens because of your natural tendencies of the mind or whatever. It comes naturally. But what you are giving importance to, what are you aware of, what are you paying deliberate attention to is a function of the buddhi. What you become aware of, what you become conscious of, let us call it like that, what you become conscious of, the field, whatever you become conscious of is happening naturally because of various tendencies in your system, because of the brain, the faculties, organs. Yeah. And in the field that you are conscious of, what you feel like paying attention to be aware of, or to recognize and pay attention to, you tend to focus your attention, which is the movement of yourself. You tend to focus your attention on one thing. If there is a picture, let us say the screensaver or something, on your screen, or you just look like that anywhere you look, you can try this experiment when you walk in a park somewhere, when you go out, anywhere, you're sitting in the room, close your eyes. You can do that right now. Close your eyes. And depending on whatever I am talking, while I am talking, now you are hearing some other noise. This is a new thing, This noise of me snapping my fingers takes your extra attention. Because it was not there before, this is a new thing. Immediately you see, your attention goes to that. You become somehow more aware of this noise. Unless you're listening to my voice. You're listening to my voice, but somehow there seems to flow, the flow of extra attention goes to that. And then there is your ego response, your deliberate response. That is the movement of the self. So your attention picks up an object, that there is a flow of attention towards one of the objects that are in the field of your attention, your consciousness outside or inside, your faculty of attention picks up that, your faculty of ability to be aware kind of gathers around something more based on your samskara, that is based on your inner tendencies. It just attention focuses, gathers around something, right? Like how when there are bright colors, a child automatically pays attention to. That is samskara. In a child, you take the child to a supermarket, there is suddenly a yellow balloon. They say, the yellow color takes more attention, they say. Red color takes more. The primary colors, when you go to these children's play area or whatever, they have all these primary colors. So from a distance, the child sees that, immediately it gets excited. Oh, I want to go there. Because it immediately registers in the mind. It's very instinctive. So similarly, you have this, because of the nature of your brain's programming, your ability of focusing your attention is invoked by different objects based on your programming. So different objects invoke this ability to focus. Your mind gathers around something based on your samskara, right? This is chitta. This is the chitta, or the natural movement of the mind. Now there is buddhi, where you experience the focusing of the mind and then you decide what to do with that. So in a japa, what you do, you decide to focus more deliberate attention on the mantra. Sorry. You decide to deliberately focus your attention more on the mantra, and then you find different ways of doing that, like how we discussed in the last class. But now what I am talking to you is, in your buddhi, that is your conscious faculty of decision making or choice, the choice over your attention, your choice of processing your experience. Now, there is an experience. In other words, how we can put it, there is this experience, and then your choice of processing the experience. Oh, what is this? This is interesting. Let me know what it is, what is going on. That is one way. So whatever your mind naturally moves towards, instead of focusing on the object, instead of focusing on your relationship with the object, you give more importance to the ability of being aware. In every objective experience, there are all that stuff about the thing, how you are connected to the thing, how the thing affects you, how you feel about the thing, all that is there. But we are giving importance to totally non-judgmentally. We are not choosing where the attention goes, right? So we are not doing that. That is concentration practices. Japa, dharana, all that takes care of that. Learning where to focus your attention. That is working with the flow of the chitta. That is effort-based meditation. So here what we are going to do in this way of contemplation, what we are doing is we are going to awaken a certain kind of intelligence that is not of words, a certain kind of understanding that is not of words. So for that, what we are doing is we are recognizing in the natural awareness of something. In the naturally, when you become more conscious of something, there is a focusing of attention on something. In that natural movement of the mind towards an object, in the natural field of awareness, you are recognizing the ability to be aware. In every time your attention goes towards anything, in every movement of your attention towards any object of the five senses, a touch sensation, a hearing sensation, a sight, a color, or a light, or a taste. If somebody you are listening to this, and let us say somebody comes and gives you some snack, or gives you uh, some fruit or something to have, or somebody leaves a tea next to you, then you take a sip of the tea, there is attention going to that taste of the tea, right? Taste. Then there is a smell. Somebody lights an incense in the next room. Suddenly the waft of nice incense smell comes. So this is the five senses. And then suddenly you remember something else. When I talk about a smell, you remember a nice smell that you smelled in some garden. That comes, that is inner object, some memory. So what comes in your field of attention, we are not controlling that at all. Wherever the mind goes, whatever the mind becomes aware of, whatever you become aware of, whatever comes in your field of attention, I will put it like that. Whatever comes in your field of attention, because you are not involved in it, let us not say where you are putting your attention, because you are not doing anything about where the attention is. Whatever comes in your field of attention without your effort, because of the natural tendencies, in that objective awareness, you recognize the quality of being aware. This is common to every awareness. You are aware of this object A, you are aware of object B, you are aware of object C, then you are aware of something inside, you are aware of yourself, you are aware of some idea about you, then you are aware of another object. In every objective awareness, this ability to be aware is common. It is always the same. You will experience that. So in every natural attention focus, you recognize the quality of being aware. Right? So we do that. You sit, you feel, you don't feel. I mean, that's again, you'll try to do something. You don't try to do anything. You just sit and recognize that you are aware. Without your knowledge, without your volition, if your mind goes towards something, don't control it, let it go. But in that movement of towards that object, in that awareness of wherever the mind goes, recognize this quality of being aware. Always give importance to that quality or the ability to be aware in every kind of in every experience, in every movement of the mind towards any object, in every type of attention, in every type of consciousness, in every type of awareness. You keep coming back to giving importance to the quality of being aware. This giving importance to the quality or the ability to be aware is the decision made by your buddhi, where you are deliberately choosing that. That is the job of the buddhi, or you, the conscious individual, the ego, the active individual, you. Right? It's a decision that you have made, that you are going to recognize this. You choose to recognize this. It's something like a mother who has a child in the park. It's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing. The child goes to play. The mother is sitting on the bench. A lot of kids are playing, but she always chooses to have an eye on the child. She's aware of all the children, but she chooses to be aware of the child. Sometimes she gets distracted. Then she says, oh my God, what is the kid doing? Then comes back. Right? That is the buddhi. That is the decision of the buddhi. This quality, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa beautifully tells in an example how one should live in the world with the mind always on the Lord. That he says, two examples, very famous examples are given. He says, the woman is working in the kitchen and doing all the stuff. He says, like an unchaste woman. That is his tantric. So he says, like an unchaste woman. In the middle of all her activities in home, she's always thinking about her lover. the back of the mind, like that. Another one. There is this women in the village who carry different pots of water from the river back home. There is a pot on the right hip, one on the head, whatever. They keep talking all the stories of the all kinds of things, but there is always this background attention, importance to the pot, and that sense of balance. It never goes right. So, like that, whatever you may be engaged on in the background, always be aware of the Lord, or through the name, chanting of the name or mantra, like that they say. Like that, you can also put it Vedantically. You're always aware of the self. Give importance to the wisdom of the self in every experience. There is a beautiful verse by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Yatra yatra mano yatayaha tatra tatra samadhayaha. Wherever the mind goes, and there is samadhi. It comes when after the person has perfected knowledge. So all these point to the commitment of the buddhi. Whatever purpose for which the buddhi is committed, that will define how you are affected by the field of experience. The field of experience does not matter beyond a point. But for the experience of freedom, for a higher awareness, for all those things, what matters is the commitment in your buddhi. What's the choice you are making? What are you choosing to give importance to in an experience? So that is what decides how we are affected by the experience, and how we are either bound by the experience or freeing ourselves from the network of that connection with the experience. So what is happening depends on the commitment in the buddhi. So right now we are discussing about awakening in our mind, in our buddhi, a certain natural faculty of intelligence and understanding that is always there, like the shining sun, but is clouded by all kinds of subjective, personalized values and thought forms and choices. So because of all that, it is always constricted within I and mind. What is in it for me? The limited definitions of the sense of self. I am always relating with an object as a person that is related to the object, as a consumer of that object. What will I get from it? How can I enjoy it, or how can I get rid of it? If it is a pleasant, how can I grab it? If it is unpleasant, how can I push it away? Right? This is called the limbic engagement, they say in neuropsychology. So how your limbic system, you are always relating to the world through the limbic system of grabbing or pushing away. And based on that, there is more involvement and more participation or more negative participation, or wanting to get rid of it, which is dislike, likes and dislikes. So this is what is samsara, basically the personalized participation in an experience, where a true understanding or true wisdom of the moment is not allowed to awaken and direct the actions in that situation. In every given situation, a true overall complete understanding and direction towards any wholesome action is curtailed by the personalized involvement in the situation based on I and mind. Instead of that, when we do this practice of paying attention, or I will put it this way, wherever the attention converges, there you give importance to the quality of being aware, irrespective of whatever the attention flows towards. You keep on doing that, you will see the mind will stop moving. And I will not tell you more. Then you will start imagining that state and projecting it on try to arrive at it. This trying to arrive is the problem. Every time we make an effort, we try to arrive at something. We have an idea that we read somewhere. We read in a Kundalini book, something will go up, you will feel like this, you will feel like that, and you try to arrive at that. You imagine that, then you push that on the system. You push that on the present reality. Or you have already experienced in yesterday's meditation, you found something nice. Like, for example, when you are practicing this, giving importance to the quality of awareness, mind will go into different kinds of states, and there, the more the silence happens, and the more the mind becomes silent, the more sublime will be the field of experience and more exciting. Like I told in the last class, all experience is false. All experience belongs to the field of mind, is a projection, is imagination. It's not real, so it doesn't matter what is the experience. All experiences are equally meaningless. Material, spiritual, whatever. So with this understanding, you just keep bringing your attention back to the quality of being aware in every experience. So keep all kinds of things will keep coming. And then it happens. It's okay. It's natural. We are human. So what will happen is you would have had a nice experience, a very pleasant, sublime, elevating kind of a light, a quality of mind one day when you try this. The next time when you sit for it, you are trying to repeat it. You're trying to arrive at that state of mind. Oh, when I do this like this, and when I switch my attention, I will feel like this. Oh, I'll get that nice feeling. And then you will try to get back that nice feeling, because that nice feeling leaves an impression on the memory. The bhoga buddhi, we say, right? So the enjoyer in you gathers an impression about that nice experience, and the buddhi picks up that from the memory and wants to arrive at it, and you will try to impose that experience on the current reality. So then what happens? Then there is a struggle. There is a natural flow of attention in a certain way, but you want the mind to be in a certain way, and then you will try. That will push you to make unnecessary effort or struggle. There will be conflict. Distracted mind, concentrating mind. So instead of that, what you do is you give zero importance to any experience, remembering in your buddhi, remembering that all experiences are equally meaningless. What is meaningful is you recognizing the quality of being aware in an experience, which is common to all experiences, right? Only this, nothing else. Right? Just keep coming back to this. Keep staying in this commitment of recognizing the quality of being aware in every experience, to the exclusion of everything else. It's a very interesting experiment in consciousness for us to do. Just try it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Just try it for 5 minutes. Whenever you have time, when maybe not when your stomach is full, just after a meal, maybe not. That's okay. That's also an experience, but it might affect the metabolism initially. So when the stomach is not full, especially when you are awake, when you sleep, if you do it enough in your normal waking time, in your evening, there are these key moments where to practice this choice of giving importance to the quality of being aware in any experience, right? Let us not give it any name. So this practice awakens a certain kind of intelligence, which you will understand by your own experience. So I don't want to explain that. That is better not explain. The more we explain, the more we will mess about that. So I'll not explain that, but you can try that. It's all I can tell you is that intelligence is very useful. When that intelligence is experienced and awakens and is functional and present in your every experience, when that intelligence is present as a living reality, when you live that intelligence, I will put it like that, when you live that dimension of intelligence in every experience, it is very useful for you and the world. I'll just put it that way. So try it out. 5 minutes when your stomach is not full, and certain times, strategic times are very useful to try this. Immediately after waking up in the morning, or any time you nap or whatever, the moment you wake up, you recognize you are awake. And then you recognize the quality of being aware. See if you can stay in touch with that, no matter where the mind moves. for a few couple of minutes and then let your eyes open. You are aware, you are awake, and your eyes are not yet open. So in that time, you try this. To remember to try this in that time, you will have to try it in all the important times during the wherever you tend to get absorbed, right? There are different situations in the day, during our day, where we get carried away. So this is vairagya. So abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha comes in Yoga Sutra, right? Abhyasa and vairagya. The vairagya is learning to not give importance to the experience, to the quality of the experience, to the awareness, to the object of the experience, to your relationship with the object of the experience, to how the object of the experience, how the object affects you in an experience, to to switch off the importance for all of this and give importance to the quality of being aware. Try to do this in typical situations where we get carried away, positively or negatively. An annoying friend comes, an annoying colleague comes walking in the corridor when you're working. You know that guy is coming, the guy, the girl, whatever is coming, the person is coming. And immediately you will see all the reaction to that. So your attention is gathering. In that, give importance to the quality of being aware. Then you're walking, you're taking a walk and you hear a very nice song. Your attention converges on the song. Give importance to the quality of being aware instead of enjoying the song. Let the mind enjoy the song. I'm not telling you not to enjoy the song. Then if I tell you not to enjoy, that becomes another target. No, don't control what is happening in the flow of attention, but just give importance to the quality of being aware. In all the nice experiences, in all the not so nice experiences, wherever you tend to get carried away, there practice this. Sorry. Then one fine morning, you will be able to get it the moment you wake up before opening the eyes. So this works best if you just stay committed to this practice across all situations for a few days at a stretch. When you do that, whatever is that you will appreciate as a result of this practice, whatever that will awaken in you, if you have done that for even 2-3 days, you cannot keep quiet and you will come and give me feedback about it, either in the YouTube or in our next class, right? So practice that and let me know. This is a certain, it's a certain quality of intelligence that is already present, but that becomes functional and present and lived in our everyday experiences when we take our sense of importance from the content of the experience to the quality of the ability to be aware in an experience. When we shift the importance to that, this intelligence awakens, right? So this is basically based on the concept of abhyasa and vairagya. And I will not tell you from which text where, because I don't want you to go and read about it. Just go based on this explanation. But it is not something of my own creation. It is already there. It has been talked about in the scriptures also, and it has been talked about by many masters also. So don't worry about it. Just try it out and let me know. And if there is any question pertaining to this particular thing, you can ask me. And after that, if there is any other question, you can ask me, right? I'm waiting.
Hello, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
So somehow this is the same topic I was juggling over in my mind since morning, and it came here. And I think sometimes if I just it just randomly happens that I sit in meditative state and I can see some sort of disturbances in my body, and I can see the mind going on to one thing and the another and another. and it was the same thing as you said, the limbic, the grabbing and pushing away. But because from few classes you have been telling to always watch it, so I tried watching it. But what to do next is what my question was.
Now you have something, so you watch it, and there is no next. Remember, there is no. Well, it depends on what the purpose of your meditation. Because I don't want to interfere in your japa. Let us say, I don't know what what do you mean when you say when you are in a meditative state? What do you mean? What do you do? Any specific technique, or
No,
how?
I'm not doing any specific technique. It's just that sometimes when when I become so anxious, or I'm
Right.
thinking about like something, I just, when it's not like I'm doing it daily or in a particular time. Sometimes the mind just feels too heavy, and I sit silently and I watch it. And
Good,
I
good. So now,
experienced
now you can add this dimension to it. You watch
the
it, you recognize it, you are aware of it. In that, you recognize the quality or ability to be aware. You got that knack when I was telling and explaining through the class?
yes.
Yeah. So you try it out. Try it out.
So that's it. I don't have
That's
to
it.
like roll it, pull it, push it, nothing.
Nothing.
Just
Nothing.
stay with that.
Unless it is some life threatening, some, let us say, some scorpion is on your thigh, you don't have to sit like karna, or like till that thing stings, push it away. Taking care of safety and a basic common sense, I'm telling. So if there is some small discomfort in your knee or something, maybe you can
So
adjust it a little bit. That's all right.
nothing like that. But I have experienced this thing when it like sometimes, and actually a lot of times when I take class of my students, when I tell them about this thing, or I make them do some meditative practice, or making them conscious of their body, something like that, I have experienced that while teaching them, like the recognition of quality of that being aware. But when I try to do it alone, I can't do it. This
It is
strange.
not doing. It is about understanding that you are not arriving at something. It is present right where you are, how you are.
But I can't do it alone, like just with myself.
So what happens when you say you cannot do it? What is happening instead?
It's just, I'm not saying I'm trying, but I'm saying that if even if I'm, how should I say? It's
You can
like
say
if,
trying. It's okay. I understand.
so if I'm teaching, I'm telling someone like my students, and making them, suppose I'm making them do shavasana, so I become more conscious and aware that I am talking, and or maybe I'm
Yeah, I
just,
understand that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
but if I am doing my own practice alone, that
Right. All right.
that conscious level of consciousness doesn't occur.
Ha. Right. I understand this. I know what you mean. So in any practice you are saying. So correct.
Yes, correct.
Right. So that is basically it's because of the habit of extraversion of mind. So when you do more pranayama and some stretches, right? So when you do asanas and pranayama,
Mhm.
give more importance to doing a certain number of repetitions, irrespective of the quality.
Okay.
For example, when you are doing, let us say, Paschimottanasana, you remain in that stretch for 10 breaths, 5 breaths. You make a decision.
Mhm.
And before you start your practice, you make a decision how many sets you will do and how much you will retain, etc.
Okay.
So while you are doing, you will not have the motivation to do, but still
Yeah.
you do it because you have decided to do that much. So towards the end of the practice, your quality of attention, your quality of ability to engage your mind on what you are doing will be better than before.
Okay. So giving
And
more,
sorry,
नहीं sir, आप बोलिए, आपने बोला giving more importance to the, there was some word
not the feel, not giving importance to what you feel like doing, but giving importance to what you have decided to do.
Okay, sir.
And ticking off the list. I have done this. I am supposed to do this. I have done this. It's called anushtanam, the concept of anushtanam. So that gives a certain inner strength, and it gives you also a certain balance of hormones, what they call it dopamine and all that, right? So it helps you with that, and then you will have a more engaging attention in something, because there is no natural motivation. You have a natural motivation when you engage with people, when you in conversation. There is obviously, because this is natural. But when we are doing practice for ourselves, usually while we practiced, we might have done like how your students are doing, listening to your voice. You might have done listening to somebody's comment. So there is no abhyasa for you to engage your will on a specific direction on yourself continuously. That abhyasa is not there. So what you have to do is, any practice you do, don't do based on video instruction or audio instruction. You decide only one technique at a time. You do this technique so many number of times. You do that. Then you next. So you make decision what is going to be your practice session, and one by one you tick after you do that.
Okay.
And there you see whether how your motivation is waning away, how much you are having to push yourself. But when you do that for a few days, this defect will get cleared. You will start feeling more engaged and more motivated to work with yourself. That comes as a power of Anushtana, of repeated practice. It comes because your system is not used to engaging with yourself. Your system is always used to engaging with things and people. So
Yes.
yeah, that is the natural. That's how we live as extroverts. So because of being used to that flow, the awareness and the quality of awareness is better in an outward flow than in an inward flow. That's totally natural. That's what abhyasa is for. So when you keep doing that, the quality of attention engaging with a good level of consciousness will improve when you are engaging with yourself also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's no other way. There is no shortcut.
Thank you.
Sure.
Namaste.
Namaste. Just one more point for the previous question.
Yes.
This improves when your prana awakens. There is something called awakening of prana from the nabi. It will awaken and something wakes up in your body. When prana awakens in your system, there are 2-3 points where it awakens. The nabi, and then it wakes up like this, like something wakes up in your body like a sleeping thing, and then it wakes up in your heart. It wakes up inside the head. So when prana awakens in each level, the ability to engage with yourself in a deeper level, in a more comprehensive way, becomes better. And that prana awakening comes from abhyasa. Yeah, I wanted to add that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Kanu.
Okay, directly coming to the point. Today's class is related with abhyasa and vairagya. In this session, I would like to hear out about the difference or importance of tapas and vairagya.
Difference between importance of
difference, like not to confuse with what is tapas and vairagya, and what is the importance of tapas in vairagya, or how it is related. Like tapas, as you said, now practice every day. Something you said now, right? Like
right. That is a kind of tapasya. Right. So it helps. Yeah, because it helps you to have more mastery over the movement of yourself, where things cannot pull you and push you. The objects based on your tapasya especially works like it helps you to maintain your center in the face of challenge. That is the point of tapasya. So that's how tapasya helps you in vairagya, where when there is a natural tendency towards something, if there is more tapasya, your ability to not be carried away becomes more. It's called nirodha samskara. That's nirodha samskara for that particular bhoga becomes more when you have more tapasya, especially with respect to that object. The tapasya is basically challenging your limits. Sorry. So if I have a problem with vairagya in one zone, I'm talking about functional. I'm not talking about paravairagya. I'm talking about aparavairagya, functional vairagya, where I am not able to exercise detachment in a certain area or aspect of life or experiences for a certain set of experiences. Then I put myself through challenges for that. Let us say I am addicted to sweets. I want to have a sweet. After every meal, I need to have a sweet. Somehow I picked up this habit, let us say. So what I do is, if I see that I am having a problem, if I don't get that sweet, I tell myself, I will not have sweet for the next 3 weeks. Start like that. Next 3 weeks, next one mandala, no sweet. Especially no sweet after a meal when exactly when I want it. Then after that, you see how much is your craving, how it works. So you create a situation, a challenge, and then you are not biting your teeth and sitting on top of the desire. No, you work with the desire. For example, you might engage this, when the mind wants the sweet, the quality of attention gathers on that sweet, on that wanting, the desire for the sweet. There you recognize the quality of awareness instead of the desire or the fulfillment of the desire. Shifting your attention. Because it is the topic of today, I'm using that example, that practice. It can also be done by you meditating on that satisfaction that you have gotten from the sweet as a reflection of the quality of the self, which is basically a state of mind. You remember the satisfaction you got last time after eating the sweet, and you see that that satisfaction is basically yourself, or you recognize in that memory of that satisfaction your deity. Like that, so many ways it can be handled. So basically what we need to process is, we have to process the tendency within that samskara, how the mind attaches value to that experience when the sweet is consumed. The sensation created by that object of pleasure, how the mind attaches value to that. So you have to work with that value using jnana or bhakti, viveka, one of these, or using pranayama. Every time that comes, if you are a real dumbo, you cannot exercise your brain, you cannot think around it, then pranayama. You inhale and hold your breath, and or you exhale and inhale, hold the breath, become aware of the urge and desire. While you exhale, you think that desire goes out through the exhalation. That is one technique. Like this, we can do some gross techniques, yoga techniques, and get rid of it every time it comes. Then your awareness will awaken to the level that is subtler, one level subtler than where the urge to enjoy comes, than the nervous level. It will go to one level subtler, and there it will be easier to work with that. So like this, any of the techniques we have to employ and process that desire. Then it becomes easier the next time. If you don't process the desire, then it becomes frustration. But still, even with frustration, you will have some kind of mastery. So that's that. This is how I understand. Yes. So that is a connection between tapasya. Tapasya is challenging the limits, and vairagya is basically not being swayed by an experience, not being compelled to give importance to an experience. Having a choice over ability to not engage with an experience is vairagya. So that comes, definitely that comes, it improves greatly with tapasya, with the corresponding tapasya.
Yes.
Yeah. And one type of tapasya will help you to apply the concept of tapasya for vairagya in everything else. You get the knack. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, 1 second.
7:04.
Yeah, time is up. Just
anybody else?
Yeah.
You keep this question. If you have one more, keep it for the next class.
Yeah. No question, actually. I just want to.
I say, please add.
No, there's no question. Just I got late because time difference. I mistaken the time, 6:30.
7:04.
It's the first time I'm attending there.
Right. Okay. So we will finish the session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
நன்றி, வணக்கம்.